Right, we are back.
If we are to make these new lands ours, then we must have places to rest our battle.
Заткнись, shut up. So, what am I to do now? I think I will... Because at first I will do my sharpening stones. And then I will do wheelbarrows. And then I'll take the Grond's Amulet quest, the Harpies quest, the Scorpids quest, and go to Orgrimmar. Orgrimmar. Duratar. That will be enough for now. Hit you off. What stupid. This guy slaps. Don't ban my heart. Yomaha. Yomaso. Can I do Gear Lord? What does he do? Lightning Shield and Healing Wave. So he doesn't like... doesn't cast on big distances, which is very good. Easy. Easy. Work complete.
Adventurer, please, can you help me? My son Crone went hunting days ago, and he still hasn't returned. He went west toward the Barrens to hunt crocolisks along South Fury River. I fear the worst. As strong as he was, his stubborn pride has always drawn him into trouble. I warned him that the Crocolisks were powerful and vicious. He grew angry and stormed off. If you can't find him, at least bring me a sign of his fate. Even if you have to open up the stomach of every Crocolisk along the South Fury's banks.
Okay, lady, chill.
Reslak, the Gazlo's boys. Boss sent me to help the orcs here in Durotar. Things have been going good except for the caravans. Can't manage to keep them safe. Makes my job a little harder, you know? The last shipment, they promised it'd get through, was snatched by the Dustwind Harpies of... Where was it? Razorwind Canyon. Gotta have those supplies or I'll never get anything done. Follow the big canyon to the south. You'll find the ravine cut right into the west and east sides of the walls.
Nah.
Work complete.
Time it. Hey, now isn't that just the thing? You've got our supplies back for us? That's great! I'll be able to get back to work just as soon as I can find someone to haul these sacks for me. Gazlo told me once, Reslak, there's one thing you need to know in life, and that's if you want something done well, do it yourself. I can't deal with losing all our caravans, so I'm just going to take matters into my own hands. Dry Gulch Ravine lies through the eastern part of Razorwind Canyon. If we kill all the harpies there, the routes will be safe. Of course, there was one other thing that Gazlovi taught me, and that's, you can get anything done for a price. So going to help me out, adventurer?
Adventurer, your timing is perfect. I just hope I can compliment your haste as well. I was careless while fighting a few of the venom tails nearby, and one of them stung me deeply. I can feel its poison weakening me even as we speak.
At this rate, I got maybe an hour left to live, but I'll need your help if I'm to do so. Korgan in Orgrimmar knows how to make the antidote. Find him, and hurry, adventurer. I won't be able to last much longer. He should be in the Cleft of Shadow.
Should they just... It's like 4 minutes walk. I will just walk. I take the Hearthstone.
If we are to make these new lands ours, then we must have places to rest our battle-weary bodies. Lay your axe by the fire and share the stories of your mighty battles.
Strength!
Peace through strength. Blood and thunder.
Can Zamja help you, person? Bye-bye now.
This little mechanism shrinks when you try to stretch it. You try to pull it apart and all of a sudden it pulls back on you.
That's so weird, right?
Here it is under controlled conditions. There's a cup hanging from the mechanism, but now look what happens as you add water to it. All of a sudden, the cup shoots up. The amount it shoots up is tiny, but the physics behind it is so counterintuitive, nobody thought it was possible.
It feels like it violates physics. That's why it's fun.
The paradox that controls this mechanism governs everything from mechanical systems to food chains, from traffic jams to power grids. And to understand it, you just need to ask a simple question. What will happen to this weight if you cut the green rope?
Where's this going to end up? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Or is it going to stay the same? Can I touch? Yeah, you can try it.
Nothing.
You don't think anything's going to happen?
In the same place.
Weight is gonna be right over there.
Or like it's going to fly off or what?
No, not too much, but probably it's going to go to this way.
If you cut the green rope, this is going to come down.
It will go down.
It will go down.
It drops.
It'll fall down on it.
The first thing that occurs to me is as soon as you cut that, the weight is going to drop. I imagine the weight ends up lower than it started.
Here's a closer look at the setup. You have a spring hanging from a hook up here, and then via this green rope, it's connected to another spring that's carrying this weight below them. There are two extra ropes here as well. So the red one and the black one are slack. They're not under any tension whatsoever, so they're not actually carrying any weight. What's going to happen if you cut the green rope?
You can pause the video here and try to figure it out for yourself.
Wait, what?
Here it is in slow motion. So even though the ropes on this side were slack and we cut the only rope in tension, the weight somehow went up.
Okay, so if you're unconvinced that cutting the green rope actually...
On this side were slack and we cut the only rope in tension, the weight somehow went up.
Okay, so if you're unconvinced that cutting the green rope actually makes the weight go up, here's a huge version of the experiment. So the black and red ropes are still very much slack and it's just held together by this tiny piece of green rope here. So let's see what happens now. Okay, you ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Troll. May your blades never dull.
Lunch.
Spirits be with you, man.
There we go. Admiral soldiers, hidden enemies, okay. They also go learn mining now. Maybe... I don't know. And also check for the fishing rod. Okay. Wank.
War to you. Countless times I urged the war chief not to trust the humans, but personal pride is not what is at stake here. You have served the Horde honorably, young adventurer. Now excuse me, I must counsel Thrall on these matters at once. One thing I will not tolerate are traitors in our midst, adventurer. But I would be a fool to play my hand so early. It would not sufficiently cut the corruption out of our lands and only cause the infection to grow worse. But you, a young adventurer, could go places my agents could not. Could learn the truth. Could find the true head of the beast. If you are brave enough, then enter Skull Rock to the east of Orgrimmar, find a lieutenant's insignia off one of the burning blade there, and return to me.
That was actually insane.
That was pretty good, right?
Still don't believe it looking at it.
Okay, so why does this actually happen?
Because the springs.
Looking at it.
Okay, so why does this actually happen?
Because the springs are contracting back and just pulling it together.
Maybe the tension in the, this part is changed.
It releases the tension in the springs and only goes to the length of the ropes.
Credevo che le molle fossero tarate per il peso, invece no.
Look at what happens when you remove the slack side ropes from the initial setup. You're left with this, a mass hanging from a spring hanging from another spring.
McGraw, for the Horde.
What can I help you with? Be safe.
I mean, I shouldn't
Strength
have
and honor.
purchased it.
May your blades never dull.
Plus reflex. But okay, I can solve this.
So these springs are connected in series. Obviously, when you hang a weight from one spring, it extends, just like you'd expect. And the amount it extends by, call it x, is proportional to the force exerted by the weight. That's Hooke's law. But if you add another spring in between, in series, now both springs extend roughly the same amount, x, because both springs feel the same force of the weight pulling from below. So in the case of ideal massless springs, you would end up with exactly 2x of displacement. Now, there's another way to connect these two springs to the weight, and that is in parallel. This way, both springs are independently connected to the hook above and to the weight. So each spring
I guarantee this bank's security with my own blood. Is that good enough for you?
Well, actually, no. No. I'll do this.
is only carrying half the weight of the mass below, which is why both springs extend only half as far, or x over 2.
If you look at the setup,
both springs, so each spring is only carrying half the weight of the mass below, which is why both. Now, there's another way to connect these two springs to the weight, and that is in parallel. This way, both springs are independently connected to the hook above and to the weight. So each spring is only carrying half the weight of the mass below, which is why both springs extend only half as far, or x over 2.
If you look at the setup right after the green rope is cut, you'll notice that this is actually exactly how the springs are laid out. So the red rope is connecting the bottom spring directly to the hook above, and the black rope is connecting the top spring to the weight. So these springs are in parallel.
Taboo.
So by cutting the green rope, you're actually forcing the springs to go from a series to a parallel, and that change is what causes the contraction to happen.
When you cut the rope, each spring only extends by about half as far as before, which is why you can add so much slack on these black and red ropes to give the impression that the weight is going to fall down.
When you cut the rope, you go from series to parallel, and that pushes you up. The slack ropes, that's where I get to cheat, and that's the misleading bit, you know? Yeah.
The key to getting this paradox right comes down to the length of the slack ropes.
Plus I forgot about this stupid quest because it's not on the fucking map. Okay, it is on the map. I just forgot. Yeah. But it's like in this color that usually doesn't mean anything. Okay, yes, wasted time.
One has to be longer than the length of one of the springs in series, plus the green rope. That's what adds the slack. But they also can't be much longer than that because too much slack will nullify the contraction you get between series and parallel, and the weight will still fall.
Now, you might think that this
also can't be much longer than that because too much slack will nullify the contraction you get between series and parallel, and the weight will still fall.
Now, you might think that this paradox only really works with the springs in this demo, but the first time it was discovered was actually because of its influence on people.
In April of 1990, New York was getting...
The shattered hand will see the Horde to their former glory, unhindered by the timidness of the war chief.
Venom tails are some of the deadliest scorpids in Durotar. It was unwise for Reinag to hunt them without having some of the antidote with him, but right now, chastising is the last thing he needs. Bring me a few venom tail poison sacs from any of the venom tails near the entrance of Orgrimmar, and I'll make an antidote for him. Make haste, adventurer. One of our own needs your help.
Getting ready for its 20th annual Earth Day. It was going to be Manhattan's biggest celebration of environmentalism to date.
Stop the war! Against the Earth!
On the day, Central Park was turned into a massive festival ground with almost 1 million people pouring in to see a stacked lineup of performers, including Hall & Oates and the B-52s. But the boldest stunt of the day was to ban traffic on some of New York's most important streets, including 42nd Street, one of the busiest streets in Manhattan. It stretches from river to river, connecting Times Square to Grand Central Station, and it's almost always jammed with slow-moving traffic.
The only thing that's an hour from 42nd Street is 43rd Street.
And maybe not surprisingly, people were really against this idea, insisting that just a 6-hour closure of 42nd Street would mean doomsday. As the commissioner of New York's Department of Transportation put it, you didn't need to be a rocket scientist or have a sophisticated computer queuing model to see that this could have been a major problem. But the city went ahead with it anyway, and no cars were allowed on 42nd Street for the day. Now, to everyone's surprise, the traffic in the surrounding area actually got better. The number of cars was reduced by 20%, with bystanders claiming the whole area was a ghost town compared to the way it normally is. But one man wasn't surprised by this result. In fact, he predicted it over 20 years earlier. His name was Dietrich Breze, a German mathematician, and back in 1968, Breze was studying road networks. As part of his research, he imagined a scenario where drivers from one side of a fictional town were trying to get to the other. But there were only 2 possible routes the drivers could take. Route 1 starts with a wide highway that takes you halfway across town. The road is so wide that regardless of how many cars are on it, this part of the trip always takes 25 minutes. The second half of this route turns into a narrow city street, and the time to drive through this street depends on how many cars are on it. For every 100 cars on the street, the time to pass through it takes an additional minute. So 100 cars will take 1 minute, 200 cars will take 2 minutes, and so on. The second route through town starts with a similar narrow city street that depends on the number of cars. It takes you halfway across and then turns into another 25-minute highway stretch where the transit time doesn't depend on traffic.
Phantom patches. Thank you. This is fucked up. Ooh, not bad. Respawnita. And that's useful actually. Now. Oh. Nice. So I did all the witches.
Complete.
Actually, I think I should do it this way. Because I will not need anything else here.
Traffic. So which route would you take to get across town? Well, you can see that the routes are identical but flipped. so it doesn't really matter. Since this is just a mathematical model, both will get you there at the same time. So say there were 2,000 drivers trying to get across the city. Half of the cars would end up on the first route and half on the second route. And since there are now 1,000 cars going down each narrow city street, the travel time on these segments increases to 10 minutes. So the total time on both routes is 10 minutes for the narrow street, plus 25 minutes for the highway, a total of 35 minutes regardless of route. But now say the city decides to connect these two routes at the halfway point with a small piece of highway to give drivers more options. This piece only takes a minute to travel across.
Loktar.
Ooh.
Go forth.
This is big.
I hear one comment about waterfowl, and you will be eating through a tube. Farewell!
I just need to buy a weak flux.
So which roads would you use now to get across town? Well, as an individual driver, you should just go straight down. It will take you 10 minutes to get through the first city street, 1 minute on the new connecting road, and another 10 minutes for the second street. So your total journey time would now be only 21 minutes, compared to the 35 minutes for everyone else on routes 1 and 2.
Okay, great. So you minimize your own time and that's that, right? Well, not really. See, drivers like you are selfish and everyone wants the shortest possible travel time, which means everyone starts flooding the narrow city streets.
As drivers switch to this new shortcut, the narrow streets...
Strength and honor. Strength. I hear one comment about waterfowl, and you will be eating through a tube. McGraw. Strength.
Where is the fucking hammer?
Dabu. What are you looking for? Speak, friend. Be safe.
Finally. Domestically made copper dagger. Oh, look at this perfection. Yeah.
I will pass along word that the Quillboars have been removed from their lairs, and that their structures may be set to fire. The removal of the Razormane from Durotar brings us closer to fully securing the borders of our new homeland.
Slisu Indaisu, sprint finally. Dual wield and sub.
You look pretty strong. Listen, my good friend Cargal needs some new recruits for Baron's duty. I know you want to do what's right for the Horde. Well, this is your chance. Take this recruitment letter to Cargal and see if he'll sign it.
Mukra! Victory!
By the way, level 10 in 3 hours 34 minutes. Actually not bad. Fuck, I forgot.
The war chief is too subtle in his methods. He is cautious to unleash the might of the Horde. Once we were stronger, mighty conquerors all. That pride we must regain, and the Shattered Hand will do so. We build strength from the shadows and strike at the exposed, secretly laying our enemies low. A task you must complete for me to prove your worth. The troll Tazan trades with the pirates near Ratchet. He has information I must have. Kill him and bring me his satchel.
Fuck it, I'll train it now. So that I can smelt in Crossroads. 11:13. This is absolutely ridiculous travel time for professions. Orgrimmar is just horrendous. I mean, Stormwind not that much better, like at all. This is just stupid.
Become more and more congested, making the route slower and slower. But this makes the original routes worse too, because the time to get through the street segments keeps increasing for every driver.
Speak, friend. May your blades never dull.
What are you looking for? Dabu!
A little bit of nice chat. Oh, hello. And hard to alt tab and answer, but hello. I don't have like professional streamer setup with 20 monitors. I just have one ultra wide boy and no place to place another monitor. I mean, directly on top would work, but that would require some mounting. And I don't have gold for mount yet.
I think I can breathe easy now, knowing that the Harpies won't be bothering our supply caravans anymore. And not one moment too soon, either. I hear I'm being sent some fun little toys with the next shipment. You're pretty good at what you do, adventurer. You ought to track down my boss in Ratchet. I'll bet he can find some work for you.
Farm the scorpions, but I will turn in the quest later, so I will occupy one of my bug slots for it. Just for some speedrun efficiency. I also did cooking this time. By the way, I should have learned next cooking while I was at Orgrimmar. Yeah, as always. Yeah, my speedruns are like slow runs. Just fuck every step up, forget that I need this and this. And I usually run so happy, oh, I did everything like so efficiently. But I forgot like half of the things that I was planning. Super duper efficient. I mean, there is cooking in the city, as well as fishing. I'm just learning there, because I'm going, after reaching Crossroads, I'm going to UC and killing Tazan, of course. That's a given. I think there is enough scorpions along the coast. They just don't drop. Oh, previous one dropped, I think, yes. So it's all good, man. So good, man. Breaking blood.
Work complete.
Nice. I thought it was quest reward from the first mob. Somehow make comments visible to me, because I feel bad that someone said hello and I just probably ignored them for a good minute. Or answering. How do I do this so? Yeah, not exactly familiar. I might use notebook, but it's I don't know. Yeah, I should probably just open it on the phone or something. Yeah, again, sorry I didn't answer in time. Honestly, didn't expect people would actually join. My setup is crooked for sure. Is there an add-on that shows green comments from YouTube on in-game? I wonder. Would be cool. Like a little window for the comments. Actually, no, I don't think. You need internet connectivity for this and keys and all that stuff. So I don't think it exists. No, it already has. Ooh, juicy. I also died at 58 level. My hunter killed the bad man. Worst part was that it was all going so smoothly. Just like almost surprising that people don't do the hardcore challenge like in one go, so to speak. I was so sure I will overcome all the obstacles. And then 2 blood elves with silent invisible arrows clapped my ass. Here we get some decent silver. Come on, crocodile. Give me what I want. I was absolutely sure inside that this will be the crocodile that will give me the amulet. I don't know why. Just some random thought that I killed the crocodiles in correct order. For this one to be the one, something like this. And then I almost forgot about this thought because, like, yeah, it's just some random thoughts, you know.
Oh, so Toprin sent you.
Then this
He's an excellent
thought
scout.
ends up being
I'm not
the
sure what I'd
correct
do
one.
without him. I'll sign your recruitment letter, but what we really need
Yeah.
is someone at the crossroads. Take this signed recruitment letter to the crossroads. Zergra Darkthorn, curse her hide, is in charge there. She's a nasty shaman who will talk your head in circles before she lets you do anything useful. Thrall is convinced she's something special, but I'm not so sure. You'll just have to decide for yourself, pup.
You'll just have to decide for yourself, pup. like how you can like fuck up corpses. If the attack timer already started, you just smack them anyway. And the best part is that not only do you hear the satisfying sound of your weapon connecting to the body, but you can also scream, already dead. Wait. Is this the wrong corner? Oh my god, this is the wrong corner. It's time to stop. Yes. Yeah, but see, I might enjoy this quest for some reason. Maybe because I only got it really bad, like only once or twice, like when you have to go all the way here, here, here. But usually you just get, if you are skinning, you get a lot of skin. Mobs are decently leveled, so you get a lot of XP, so I just, and it's rare view of water in Durotar.
Speak, oh my son.
So I kind of enjoy it even.
Son. Uncertain of my son's fate, I have tormented myself since he left. Now that I know what's happened, perhaps I can finally begin to mourn. Thank you, adventurer. Please take this. I was going to give it to Crone as a gift when he returned successful. Now that I know he is dead, I cannot bear to look at it.
Oop. Some more copper, perhaps? Or is it? Yes, it's down there. Not going there. I think on Turtle there is additional quest here. Yeah, for the lizards themselves. Which is cool. Now after playing some sort of Classic Plus, you feel like empty. And you don't get the quests, you get the mobs. You see the mobs or areas, but there is no quests, and it feels like something broke, like someone forgot to compile additional content for you. Block. Alexander block. And now the infamous gameplay of running. Time to continue watching very interesting video.
Making the route slower and slower. But this makes the original routes worse too, because the time to get through the street segments keeps increasing for every driver. So everyone decides to switch to the shortcut, and now all 2,000 cars are driving down the city streets. Now the time to traverse each city street jumps to 20 minutes, so the total journey time for everyone increases to a whopping 41 minutes, compared to the 35 minutes we had before the new road was constructed. So traffic actually got worse for everyone. To fix it, drivers could simply go back to their original routes, right? well, who's going to be the first to switch back? If any one driver goes back to Route 1 or 2, their journey time will be the 25 minutes on the highway plus 20 minutes on the now congested city streets, or 45 minutes in total, which is even worse than the now congested streets. So no single driver would ever want to go back to the original route, and because humans are humans, it's not like we could all just agree to ignore this new road. So even though every driver was making a rational decision to try to minimize their own travel time by just using the city streets, collectively this made the situation worse for everyone, and there's no way out. But if the city were to destroy this new connecting road, everyone's journey time would drop from 41 minutes back to the original 35 minutes on Route 1 and 2. So removing the road would actually make the traffic better. It's
one of my favorite quest lines. Orc romance.
I have some choice cuts of meat that I want to send to a friend. Her name is Grishka, the innkeeper in Orgrimmar. Will you deliver the meat for me? The fastest way to Orgrimmar is on a Wind Rider. Take the meats to the Crossroads Wind Rider Master, Devrek, and speak with him about transport to Orgrimmar.
For the Horde! Not long ago, a shipment of silver was stolen from our guard tower. It was meant as payroll to the Crossroads guards, and we want that silver back. The strange thing is, we caught one of the thieves on the night of the theft, and it was a raptor.
It was a raptor.
Unbelievable. I don't know what raptors would want with silver, but I don't care. I want the raptors dead so they won't steal from us again. Hunt raptors in the Barrens. Collect for me their heads.
All right, adventurer. You want to earn your keep with the Horde?
No
well,
question.
there's plenty to do here, so listen close and do what you're told. I see that look in your eyes. Do not think I will tolerate any insolence. Thrall himself has declared the Horde's females to be on equal footing with you men. Disrespect me in the slightest, and you will know true pain. Your first prey will be easy. The Plain Striders to the east have been harassing our food supplies and have become a nuisance. Put down the Plain Striders and return to me with their beaks.
Long ago, the Barrens was a lush place, teeming with life. But war and cataclysm raged across the land, scorching it and leaving a dry husk. Such is the way of things, and it saddens my heart. But within the past few years, new oases have formed in the Barrens, and life stirs. And deep down, we druids sense a power leaking its way to the surface.
Still have no money.
We must find its source. Travel to the
Doesn't even matter.
pools, northwest of the crossroads. Search its waters for a source of power, then return here.
All the Quillbores are our enemies, adventurer. Some just prove to be more of a nuisance than others. The Razormane tribe has been attacking our supply lines from Durotar, causing us no end of annoyance. I have scouts seeking the leader of these raids. But until then, any losses you can inflict on the filthy pigmen would aid us. Start in the northeast towards Durotar. You can always tell their dens from the huge, thorny vines that come up from the earth. Seek them out and slay them.
Huge horny
An
vines.
attack on the caravan contains supplies we desperately need.
Horny swines.
You've been brave enough to take on the Razormane tribe so far, and I will ask you to do so again, but this time, I wonder if I could ask you to keep your eyes open for some of our lost supplies. You can probably find them throughout their camps. The Quillbore getting fat off their dishonorable acts. The people of the Crossroads would be in your debt.
You have to get this meat to Orgrimmar? That is no problem. For a small fee, my Wind Rider can take you there.
For just a few coins, I will have a Wind Rider bring you to Orgrimmar. When you get there, you can take Zarg's meat to Grishka. Her inn is in the Valley of Strength, not far from the Sky Tower, where my Wind Rider will drop you off. Speak with me again when you are ready for the journey.
I have need to send a crate of potions, reagents, and other items to my associates in the Old World. Little time I have to actually see them to the dock at Ratchet, and the last caravan
Time to
has already
solo
left.
Tazan.
If you could, please take this to Wharf Master Dizzywig. He will ensure that it is placed on the next boat to Blackwater Cove. The oases of the Barrens hide a mystery. Life energy flows from their waters, invigorating the plants and beasts that drink it. Invigorating and altering. There is a mushroom that grows near these oases. Its spores hold properties that we, the apothecaries of Lordaeron, find useful. Bring me these spores and you will earn our gratitude.
Shiny red apple. It's almost 7 AM server time. Well, actually no, some mobs are alive. I thought it was cleared, like, shot. Off me. The mystic reduction. Wait, actually this is not the way. I got my plannings to do these quests after I finish with Undercity, because there I take the the skinning profession. And I can skin all these. So yeah, I shouldn't be spending time with them now. Especially considering this is now dead weight. Forgot my own speedrunning route. Which is typical of me. My hand. So it's 510 and it is 917. Yeah, it's better. Oh, some potions maybe. How about some potions?
Oh, do I have a deal for you?
Ooh. Noise.
Hurry back!
So give this quest in, take rebooters, take summer flange, take Baron, but no take because I'm on the 10. Maybe I will be 11 after this. 11 hype.
What? A small enough crate. Yes, I
Yeah.
should be able to find room for this aboard the ship.
Yeah, I
It
can
sails with
take
the
this
next
quest
tide.
now.
I trust this is soon enough. Excellent. Let me just enter it into my ledger. All taken care of. Good day to you, adventurer.
Speedrun. Ink. Okay.
Yo!
So I made 6. I will make 14 more. Oh, the engineering hammer. By the way, engineering hammer killed me last time on level 16. Because I didn't like up my weapon skill to the maximum. It was like 50 something. I was killing 16 level mobs with it, and then I aggroed 17 level harpy with it, and I missed every fucking single shot. And I also didn't drink my potion because I decided to save it for the next character. So yeah. Went to shit. Okay, that will be enough. Make all this. This. I'll keep this. I do not need this. This will turn into food soon. Okay, good so far. Cool color. RP Wink Whopper.
Time, the venture company set up a small research facility far to the north of here, southwest of the Sludge Fen. I don't know very much about what they're doing, but did manage to discover that they're experimenting with something called a samouflange. Now, what the heck is a samouflange? Well, whatever it is, I want to examine it, so I need someone to go get it. I obtained a copy of their control system operating manual. You should be able to figure out how to disengage the samouflange from it. I sure wish Vice Admiral Greslik did a better job of keeping the seas safe for our trading vessels. With all the gold the trade princes have poured into the trade fleets, it ticks me off to see so many pirates running willy-nilly, raiding my ships and stealing my goods. I heard that the South Sea freebooters have set up a camp just south of here. They've been a real thorn in my side, and if Greslik won't take care of them, well, maybe you can help me get rid of them.
Yeah, Trade Princess and Undermine is something that was finally added in TWW, The War Within. It's quicker to say The War Within than TWW, which is supposed to be an acronym. But anyway, the Undermine has finally been added with the Trade Princess. And it's so good. Just the atmosphere, like it captured so well. Just absolutely splendid. In that racing car that you get, racing kart. So fun, so goblin-y. Like you get into all the walls that you can count and that you cannot count, you also lump into them. It's incredibly fun. I love the Undermine. Well, to a degree, but like atmospherically, you know. like a good after you watch a very good movie that will be with you for years after you watched it, in that kind of way. Not that you want to rewatch it every day, but yeah. Okay, it's a high level zone for me. I should keep attention. Where is Tarzan? Tarzan. Damn it, he's taking his sweet time. I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna be fun. I will just farm the quest a little bit. Oh my god, the damage. I do not want to waste shit. Evasion on him. So I'm hoping I can just finish him, maybe with help of this. Oh shit. Yeah. This is not fun at all. At this level here. I have all the buffs that I can have. And still I get clapped like a little girl. Or a little boy, or whatever. And he's just not coming out of there, is he? He's just all committed to this zone. Finally. Come here, let me clap you. I think it will suffice. Finally. Wait, he hits a lot less hard than the... No, he hits hard enough to... And I don't have potion cooldown, so I should really be careful.
Work complete.
There we go! Okay, I'm out. Time for... Undercity, and of course first I stop at Orgrimmar. Can finally learn this and fishing. Or no, I will do it in Undercity. No, I will do it in Orgrimmar, just to ease my brain from all the planning. I think there is a stove here. Yep.
Time is money, friend! Glad I could help.
4 hours, 21 minutes played. Level 11. Well, actually not that bad, I think. It's basically... I started like 6:30, something like this. No, I was setting up stream, so it was like probably 7 when I started. Now it's 12. Oh yeah, 20, and so it's like even half of the day hasn't passed yet, but we're already 11.
It's just like cutting the green rope from before. That's because both of these are examples of the same paradox. The springs are like the narrow city roads. The more weight or cars you add, the longer they get. And the ropes are like the highways. It doesn't matter how much weight is on them, they don't change. That is, unless you don't know how to tie them properly.
My God.
This is the paradox Dietrich Brayes discovered in 1968. It's now known as Brayes' paradox, and it is the reason why New York traffic got better after 42nd Street was closed on Earth Day.
Now sure, you'd be right to argue that the reason the traffic decreased on Earth Day in New York was simply because people decided to walk or cycle more that day. But it turns out mathematicians actually modeled the whole city in 2008, and they found 12 roads that were redundant and could be cut to actually reduce traffic.
And it's not only New York. The paradox showed up in Boston, London, Seoul. In fact, if you were to randomly add a new road to just about any city, you'd have an equal chance of making the traffic better as worse. But there's nothing special about the flow of cars. Say instead you want to send electricity from one station to another. Well, now you're looking at the flow of electrons in a power grid. And just as before, you could try to improve the grid by increasing the capacity of existing lines, or by adding new lines. But it turns out that this can actually destabilize the grid, or even cause a blackout. And virtually any other network, anytime you're sending things from one place to another...
Sorry, I have to skip back. Yeah, it's probably shitty that I only put the sound of the video through, but not the video itself. But I just don't want to think about what I shouldn't or shouldn't show. So I just set it up in the way that I only show the game. In this way I know for sure what will be captured and publicly available. At least some peace of mind. But I love these mathematical paradoxes from Veritasium. One of it inspired me to even
While I am glad to hear that
write my own program and test
a locked
it.
satchel does us no good. We need the information kept within. This should prove a worthy second challenge for one who wishes to join the Shattered Hand.
I'll leave it to you to get Tarzan's satchel open and return to me with its contents. The locking mechanism is complex, so it would probably be easiest if you obtained the key. As you didn't find it on Tarzan's body, I can only assume that he left the key in the care of another. Ah, yes, that's right. He had an assistant named Gamon. A drunkard, you'll most likely find him at the tavern. Perhaps you could quietly relieve him of the key.
Here is the antidote, adventurer. Take it to Rheinegg as soon as you can and be cautious.
I'll just learn fishing and cooking now. Just to not forget about it later. And I will probably not even have enough money to learn the swords when I get to Tirisfal Glades. Such is life of self-found. Well, actually, there is fishing trainer in Tirisfal Glades. I just remembered.
Fish so
But
delicious.
it's okay.
You come learn fish, eat fish.
Yeah, there is no fishing road anyway. Oh, I can float, jump. Hey, big lady.
Zug zug. For the horde.
My brain is so used to this talent, maxed out, so that I want to press this button each time. It's like what level? Like level 22, as if I'm already level 22. But I am not. And I don't know, this time will I train this or this? Because maybe I'm biased, but after missing so many shots, I died 2 times, and both times were associated with missing like every shot, every hit. So it was just miss, parry, miss. So I think this makes much more sense than this. Yeah, you actually it does, because you hit very often, like as a rogue, but you only get hit much less frequently. So this will multiply. Yeah.
What can I do for?
Oh,
I'll
wonderful!
go for that talent.
Those are fine cuts. These are from Zarg, are they? Dork shirt, lady's heart. Oh, I can't wait to cook it, but not too much. Meat is best served rare, don't you think? I've written a letter of thanks to Zarg. Will you deliver it for me? If you've already been to the crossroads and spoken with their Windrider master, then you can fly a Windrider back there. Take my letter to Doris, the Windrider master of Orgrimmar, and speak with him about transport to the crossroads.
So, you have to get this to the crossroads in the Barrens. Yes, I can get you there. My Windriders are trained to fly to many different places. As long as you have already been to that place and spoken with the Windrider Master there. You have been to the crossroads and spoken to their Windrider Master Devrak. So now you can fly directly to him from here. Once you're at the crossroads, you can deliver Grishka's letter to Zarg. Speak with me when you are ready to go.
Was that failed attempt? No. I should open it.
What do you...
Now this is interesting. You've more than proved your worth with this, Weir. I am quite impressed. Consider yourself the newest member of the Shattered Hand. And take this. It'll be a great help to you in the future, I think.
Can finally sell this shit. Okay, so now we go to Undercity. Tirisfal Glades. Do I need anything here? No, I can't buy a bug, but I can buy a bug anywhere. Yeah, I don't need anything else here. Maybe something offloaded to the bank. No, everything seems good. Now we'll just run.
New York. The paradox showed up in Boston, London, Seoul. In fact, if you were to randomly add a new road to just about any city, you'd have an equal chance of making the traffic better as worse. But there's nothing special about the flow of cars. Say instead you want to send electricity from one station to another. Well, now you're looking at the flow of electrons in a power grid. And just as before, you could try to improve the grid by increasing the capacity of existing lines, or by adding new lines. But it turns out that this can actually destabilize the grid, or even cause a blackout. And virtually any other network, anytime you're sending things from one place to another, it can fall prey to Braze's paradox. Be it a food chain.
Yeah, I should just offload this. So much for speedrun routing. Rock Tusk.
Adventurer, your timing is perfect. I just hope I can compliment your haste as well. I was careless while fighting a few of the venom tails nearby, and one of them stung me deeply. I can feel its poison weakening me.
Adventurer, you've saved my life. Thank you. Please take this. I hope it can at least help you in your travels, if not bring you some coin. From what you say, I won't be using it anytime soon. Corgan is gonna march me through more of his rituals until I prove myself. More killing boars, more gathering scorpid tails. Say.
Blockchain, or even the internet, fall prey to Braze's paradox. Be it a food chain, blockchain, or even the internet, adding elements to the network can make it worse.
So less can actually be more, and that kind of got me thinking. It's the same with your data on the internet. The less of your private info is on the web, the better. See, I got an email from someone a couple of months ago suggesting that they can create tailored solutions to accelerate growth. Okay, I thought it was spam, so I didn't reply, and then I got a couple of emails and I felt bad, and I thought, okay, I'd be nice and actually respond. I drafted up a little email, but once I hit send, suddenly my inbox flooded with spam emails. And Jenny offering price lists for, well, I don't really know what. Oh, and the best email actually suggested we should turn Veritasium's existing content into high-performing YouTube videos to increase our audience and extend the brand's reach. That's a genius idea, but unfortunately, most of these emails are spam, and I'd very much like them to stop. And I can with the help of today's sponsor, Incogni. So I only signed up to Incogni about 6 days ago. They already sent out 49 requests to get...
You get this. It to occur every time you
go get it off. What are you doing?
Braze's paradox doesn't occur every time you modify a network. You need a very specific set of conditions for it to occur. But if you can make it work consistently, you get this.
So we're here at the Amolf Institute, where they actually figured out how to make something shrink when you pull it. So let's go check it out. Is it here?
Yeah, I made all the samples.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Right? I guess you never expect things to yank back on you so unexpectedly, because a rubber band, you're stretching it and you feel it wants to pull back on you more and more, but here just, you're never ready for it.
Increasing suddenly, which is a weird feeling.
There's something almost like human about it, where it starts tugging back on you when it gets mad.
What's special about this mechanism is that everything else around us works in the complete opposite way. Try to press one of your keyboard buttons slowly so that it steadily goes down into place. You can't do it. No matter how slowly you go, there is some point at which it just gives way and clicks through. The same happens if you try to stretch a bendy straw. You can pull on it as slowly as you like, but at some point, the individual straw joints are going to expand suddenly. Light switches, eyeglasses, grasshopper legs, these all have a failure point beyond which they give way and quickly snap into a different position. And this is called, well, snapping. Here it is mapped to a force displacement graph. As you'd expect, the more force you apply, the more the material bends or displaces. But eventually, you reach a tipping point, and beyond it, the force required to bend the material further actually drops. So if you apply a force higher than that peak, the displacement has to rush to the next corresponding value to match the force, which is all the way on the other side of this dip. And as a result, you get a huge amount of displacement for that tiny increase in force. That's what creates the sudden snap.
It's very intuitive. I mean, you've all experienced it. At least if you're in the Netherlands with your umbrella, there's a gust of wind underneath your umbrella, it pops to the other side. So you sort of go over a peak in energy or in force and it suddenly snaps and typically it becomes softer.
And this is the way all things snap. Everything used to fail in the direction of the applied force, until this mechanism came about, doing the exact opposite of snapping. Call it counter-snapping. Imagine that gust of wind blows under your umbrella, but instead of flipping out, your umbrella suddenly closes in. Or you try to pull apart a straw and the joints suddenly contract.
So wind is pushing on my umbrella, but instead of it folding out, it
would push itself against the wind to close itself. Right?
But it feels like it violates physics. It's just so counterintuitive that the displacement is in the other direction to the force.
That's why it's fun.
So how does this thing work? Well, the mechanism itself is built out of 3 different components, and on their own, they all stretch normally when you try to pull them apart.
Individually, they behave like springs in the sense that they extend when you pull on them.
But then you combine them together, and then suddenly they shrink.
Exactly.
If you draw the system as a set of springs, it looks something like this. The long and lanky components represent the 2 springs on the sides, but they actually don't feel like springs at all. You can easily pull them apart until they suddenly get very stiff. Meanwhile, these pieces represent the top and bottom springs, and they feel a lot more springy. So the more you pull them, the more they pull back. And finally, the central piece, it looks very similar to the previous one, but pulling it apart feels very snappy. In fact, you can even hear it snap out. Put them all together, and you get the mechanism. If you stretch it slowly, you'll see how tension builds up in the 3 middle pieces, with the sides staying mostly relaxed. But if you keep stretching, the centerpiece will suddenly snap out and transfer most of its tension to the side springs. This causes the system to stiffen and shrink. If you now let go, the system resets. So the mechanism can flip between a set of springs in series to one in parallel. It's a reversible case of Braze's paradox.
The network is basically the same as the Braze paradox.
Yeah.
So the way they are connected, the topology of the connection is exactly the same.
The force displacement graph you get for the mechanism is one that loops in on itself with 2 distinct curves. One for the system in series and the other for the system in parallel. And this leads to some pretty remarkable properties. If you slowly control the stretching force by adding water to a cup below the mechanism first slightly sags, like you'd expect, but when you reach the tipping point at the end of this curve, the displacement has to quickly reduce to keep following the force along the graph. And this jump back is why the mechanism shrinks. Now, you can also control displacement instead of force, and measure how much force it takes to keep first slightly sags, like you'd expect, But when you reach the tipping point at the end of this curve, the displacement has to quickly reduce to keep following the force along the graph. And this jump back is why the mechanism shrinks. Now, you can also control displacement instead of force, and measure how much force it takes to stretch the mechanism at any point. This time, when you reach the tipping point, it's the force that has to follow displacement along the graph. So you get a sudden jump up in force, showing that the material has stiffened.
Oh, this little force jump is enough to make it slip out of your hands. If
Yeah.
example.
I mean, even though you said it... This is a small jump. It's like, this is the only thing that does this anywhere probably on Earth.
Yeah, as far as we know, the force jumping like this, it's not reported.
Oh, yeah, this is pretty insane.
So what is counter-snapping actually useful for? Well, notice that there is a force at which the series and parallel curves of the system overlap, which means that at this force, the mechanism will actually be the same length in both states. So if you exert that exact force on the structure by, for example, hanging a weight from it, you can flip between the two states by giving the mechanism a little tug. And although that will change whether the springs are in series or parallel, it won't change how long the system actually is.
Thanks for fucking my brain a little bit, Veritasium. Always good to have some brain friction. $37, yeah, it will be enough. Can learn skinning now, and I have my trophy copper dagger.
It's so cold now. The plague of undeath crawls through my veins like an icy serpent. The mindless state will be upon me soon. But no doomed destiny will prevent me from serving our Dark Lady. When the call arose, I sewed body bags for the fallen soldiers of Sylvanus' mighty army. Now my hands shake from the chill. If you would bring me 5 dusk bat pelts and some coarse thread, I could sew myself a blanket. Help me, adventurer, so that I can continue to serve the cause.
The mass graves southwest of Garen's haunt to the north were made to accommodate the impressive number of deaths.
The impressive number of deaths
came.
Tirisfal suffered.
The bodies in these graves have so far been spared an undeath, but the Scourge now send rot-hide gnolls to gather the corpses and use them to bolster their armies. This cannot be allowed. Your task is twofold. Slay the rot-hides at the mass grave in Garen's haunt, and gather from them the embalming ichor that gives them life. Lady Sylvanus has called upon the Royal Apothecary Society. The Dark Lady believes our knowledge coupled with the newfound magic will provide the key to Arthas's demise. She has challenged us to concoct a new plague, a plague deadlier than any ailment on Azeroth. This new disease will bring Arthas's Scourge army to ruin. My studies show that the blood of beasts might prove to be the key. Bring to me 5 vials of Darkhound blood so I can test my theory. Time is a luxury that is not afforded to those of us under the employ of Lady Sylvanus. Surely you know this by now. As a member of the Royal Apothecary Society, it is my duty to share my knowledge with my colleagues so that our collective efforts might one day provide the Dark Lady with the new plague she so badly desires. Take these findings to Apothecary Renferrel, who is stationed at the Sepulchre in Silverpine Forest. Follow the roads to the south from Brill.
The defenders on the bulwark protecting Tirisfal from the plague lands are on constant alert, but sometimes Scourge will slip past them. Our success at the bulwark depends on a one-front battle. We cannot allow an attack from the rear, nor can we allow our defenders' supply line to be cut. Assist the bulwark, patrol east and slay any Scourge you find. Spend particular effort at the Balnir farmstead to the east. It has become a haven for interloping scourge.
As always, I forget to buy
What do you require?
the skinning knife.
Dark Lady, watch over
Be quick
you.
about your business.
Alright. Now we have everything we need for questing in this zone. Of course, we will farm the sleeping dust here. Or slumber sand, yeah, sleeping dust is for Alliance. Sleeping dust is for Puny Alliance, and for my mighty horde it's slumber sand. Completely different thing. Don't think for a second that slumber sand is just sleeping dust from China. Same factory, different package. No, it's legit, very legit. Slumber soon. This talent is so good. Makes you like instantly make perform 30% damage more. Just adds another sinister strike to his series. So good. And of course you can scale sinister strike quite well by choosing slow weapons in main hand. Stupid dog. By the way, there isn't a single fishing school in the bright water lake, which is interesting. Like, there is no fish outside of standard fish here. And since I started playing WoW as undead, I mean, when I started playing WoW, I was undead. And full fish to me was like big surprise, kind of. Even though Kalimdor gets it from the on the first levels, basically. Well, actually, no. Actually, I don't think there is fishing schools in Durotar, yeah. But you get to Ratchet quite quickly, and there is schools in Ratchet. Actually, I should have bought level 11 axes. Doesn't really matter. Blood Sail Warlock. I think it's wait, where is Blood Sail Warlock? Ah, it's the coast quests. Yeah, it's a dangerous zone. Probably that's why I never died there either. Because when a zone is dangerous, I'm very careful there. Where are all the bots? Okay, I will kill the rest of the bots on my way to the quests. Fucking boots. I do not think I will hit 12 in...
What is it?
In Tears Fall.
Embrace the shadow.
Wait, I didn't learn the spiced wolf meat. But it's okay. I will learn it in Undercity.
You have done well, adventurer, and I thank you for your efforts. While you were collecting samples for me, my experiments led me to realize that more reagents will be required for this new disease to spread properly. Poisoning some hapless victim is child's play. Plaguing an entire world proves to be a bit more complicated. I will need 5 vile fin scales from murlocs in the vicinity. You will find the creatures along the coast, to the north or to the west.
Work complete.
Good. PM, if you went away, thanks for stopping by. Glad to have seen you. Oh, I can't mine.
Complete. Work complete.
Almost destroyed it, but he's quick to kill.
Work complete.
Right. Well, 44. Let's see how long the trip takes.
so you can change the stiffness without changing the length. Now, look at what happens if you give the mechanism a nudge in its original series state.
You poke it, it's basically a way to measure the natural frequency.
Oh yeah.
When the mechanism is in series, the natural frequency is 3.7 Hz. But if you switch to a parallel setup, the natural frequency increases to 6.4 Hz.
We switch it and we look at the natural frequency now. Now we can see it's much higher.
What's unique here is that you're able to almost double the natural frequency of the material without changing its length.
The scales are perfect. Exactly what I needed for this concoction. While you were out gathering, I uncovered some old text in one of my tomes that indicates that an ancient plague wiped out thousands of innocent victims. Later, it was discovered that the deadly agent in the plague was preserved through the venom of nightweb spiders. Bring me some venom from a vicious nightweb spider to complete this experiment. I want to see if the contagious element from the venom will work with my new concoction. Rumor has it, the spiders can be found in eastern Tirisfal glades.
What? Maggot Eye's dastardly acts have finally been avenged. Maybe your acts of valor will send a clear message to those who wish to bring harm to our people. On behalf of the town of Brill, I thank you, adventurer.
The documents Executor Aaron provided are just the break we needed in our battle with the wretched Scarlet Crusade. We now know their exact locations throughout Tirisfal glades. But the Death Guard has larger concerns. The Lich King's army grows in number each night. We need someone with initiative like yourself to drive the Scarlet Crusade to the grave. Prove to me you are capable of serving the Dark Lady by traveling west to the tower past the Soledon farmstead and slay 10 Scarlet Warriors. Expertly done, adventurer. The Scourge are mistaken if they think they can use those corpses against us, and the fluid you gathered from the Rothhide slaves will be studied by our apothecaries. It may have secrets we can use against them. As I said, well done. But our struggle continues, and the conflict will surely offer you more chances to prove your worth to the Forsaken. I need a fresh report from our Death Guard way station to the east. I must know if more Scourge forces have slipped past the bulwark and into Tirisfal. Our vigilance on the border to the Plague Lands must be maintained. We can't let the Scourge get a stronger foothold here. Travel south along the road, then east at the fork to the way station. Speak with Death Guard Linnea. She has the information I need.
Bethor Iceshard, a high-ranking and powerful mage in the Undercity to the south, commands me to send him an agent with proven worth against the Scourge. You, adventurer, will be that agent. Present these orders to Bethor. He will then instruct you on your mission. I don't know its details, but it deals with recruiting a wayward lich. And it will be dangerous. So ready yourself, adventurer. You must not fail. You may find Bethor in the magic quarter of the Undercity.
I could really use a bag.
I appreciate your efforts, adventurer. May Sylvanas recognize your bravery one day. Trust no.
We
Rest your weary bones for a spell.
Do not seek death.
Oh, I can't do this anymore. Okay. But can you do this?
I'm gonna move the robotic arm very slightly, just up and down.
Yeah, okay.
And I put a frequency of 3.5 hertz, so it's close to the natural frequency of this system.
This is going to drive the structure into resonance, but once the vibrations get big enough, the mechanism is actually going to switch states on its own, change its natural frequency, and thereby reduce the vibrations.
Like, it gets stronger and stronger, and then it just locks it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
You've jumped 1000 times. Thanks, autobiographer.
What now? Speak. Magistrate Severin wants to report. Very well. The defenders at the Bulwark are holding the majority of the Scourge at bay, but some do slip through on occasion. We have seen sporadic Scourge activity east of this station, with a concentration around the Bolnir farmstead. Now return to Magistrate Severin with the information I gave you. He'll want it as soon as possible, so be swift. And if you see any Scourge on your way back, take them down. We can't let them wander our lands unchallenged. And you are...
I could have bought 8, but I will need the gold to train the swords, at least.
It is troubling to hear of the Scourge slipping past the Bulwark. The Lich King and his minions are ceaseless in their assaults, but we will not give in. He will not take us again.
Wait, did I forget to take the quest? Yes, I forgot. No. I did not forget. He just doesn't give further quest. Okay. Good. $150 plus 30, and this is $150 plus 15, like, well, it's okay, it's significant on this level, but costs 8, so I don't have money to train it. I will hardly have money to train these two.
The same happens in reverse. If you vibrate the robot hand at 6.4 Hz, the mechanism is quickly going to switch back to its original state and minimize the vibrations.
It's interesting, the way that you say it. We're moving the point at which resonance happens. And that's what stops excessive vibrations?
Yeah. And
interesting, yeah.
Other snapping structures could also switch upon resonance, but the problem is that once they switch, they're much more elongated, much more contracted, so they don't, let's say, they wouldn't provide the same function.
You could use this effect to keep structures from vibrating or reaching resonance.
Could it be easier to install a system like this where you're actually moving the resonance instead of like a whole tune mass damper or something like that?
Yeah, I think this solution is still very complex. It's very complicated design, but I think the principle could be used.
I know it's still super early, but I'm really excited to see like it pop up somewhere in a couple of years or decades.
It's more about the concept and showing what it can do. We're going to try to see if we can maybe make contour snapping also, maybe with different type of variables.
It's going to be like a balloon that deflates when you inflate it.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
You increase the pressure and the volume would decrease.
Wait, really? That's crazy.
That would be the equivalent.
This had better be good. Our time will come.
And you are. Cooking is a lifelong pursuit, and I see we share the same passion. Cooking is a lifelong pursuit, and I see we share the same passion.
What do you require?
Lots of buff food now. Really too much of buff food. I don't know, I should probably sell something. Yeah, like four items is like too much. This sells for the price. Oh, I will eat one. I want one.
Watch your back.
I so rarely make them. I will eat one and sell the rest.
I'm listening. Victory for Sylvanus.
Okay, now time to learn. So what about professions? Mining, okay. Skinning just started. Cooking, okay. First aid just started. Fishing, okay. All good, so I just need to make... No, not this, I just need to make... the skill.
I suppose you are here to be trained in the use of a new weapon? Make it fast. I'm very busy. Be quick about your business.
$9.17, $5.10. Yeah, sadly I have to sell my trusty.
Remember,
my trusty domestically made copper dagger.
Ah, you are the agent sent by Magistrate Severin. Then yes, your business with me is crucial. I trust Severin has mustered someone suitable for my task, but we shall see.
There is a lich who dwells on the island in Brightwater Lake to the north. Although he is a free-willed Forsaken, he believes all other undead are scourge slaves and has his minions attack
I need
anyone
16.
who approaches him. But because he is Forsaken, the Queen will want him, and if he's skilled in necromancy, then his knowledge would be quite useful to us. To discover his
My God,
identity
I need
and his
money.
talents, I must see his spellbook, steal into his camp and acquire it, then return to me.
Okay, now this is bad. I can't even...
Bye.
At this point, I cannot even learn kick and parry at the same time, and I need both. So, what can I do?
I haven't got all day.
Can I sell something? No. I just don't have anything to sell.
Trust no one.
So I will take kick or parry. Well, actually, I probably can sell. How much is copper bar? I can sell copper bars and then I can buy them back. Wait, I actually need to go to the first aid trainer now. How much is copper bar? It's 10, and I have 95. So I can theoretically sell all my copper, buy the talents, and then level a little bit, gain some money and buy them back. This way I will get a loan.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, I will sell this for sure. Ooh. But this goes for 1 gold. So how much I need? I need 16. So I need 5. And this is like 320, 380, 580. Yeah.
Victory for Sylvanas.
580. So I will sell this. Yeah, well, first I will take the flight path. Oh, I also need to train.
How may I be of service?
Oh, fuck, I need to train the next. Holy shit, I just need to sell absolutely everything. Like this and this too.
Beware
Okay.
the living.
Doesn't matter. I just cannot log out after I sold, because if I log out after I sold, I cannot buy back anymore. So it's a risky investment. Restate? Maybe? Oh, wrong corner. Is this the wrong corner? Yes, this is.
But it's not there yet. But we see.
I can train you in first aid techniques. Dog baby, watch over you.
Not that bad.
And you,
I'm listening. Hello?
Okay, so I just need to sell 2 plus 2, 4, 15, I need 16, so I need to sell something else for gold. Da. Yes. We'll sell this. And I can keep this. Okay, but I will do this after a coffee break. So we are officially on a coffee break.